Good evening. Welcome to Options Center. It is Monday night, about 9 o'clock p.m. I just wanted to check up on the market. We're having some bearish action clearly in the last couple weeks here. So want to go through the multiple time frames from the monthly down to the 65-minute, and we'll go from there to see what we can find out for the rest of the week, for the rest of the month, see what's happening. Okay, we have ES on the monthly. We're looking at last month's candle, the May candle, as a large doji. I said it was not a bullish type thing. Now, it is an indecision doji, but we came right back to resistance. And clearly, we were rejected off there, and we're actually having the 8 EMA crossover to the 20. So I made this box here just to make it clear what was happening. You know, that was the consolidation area from previous months. It just went back and forth, retested that just to make sure that that we're not going back into that area now, rejecting off of there pretty fast. Okay, so we have the MACD crossover. That just says we have more to go. RSI down to that 50 point. We had the bounce already, and it seems we're going to continue to the downside. Let's go. Oh, I had these 50% retracements and the 61.8 from the COVID low. So that's a possible target that we're looking at. Right here is a confluence with the 50 week moving average as well. So maybe we can get a 1-2 setup here and head higher at the 618 or the 50. Okay. Moving over to the weekly. Okay, weekly time frame. We are, let me just zoom in a bit here. So we have this channel bottom here that coincides along with that 50-week, also the 1618 if this is a 1-2 setup there. We have the support, once resistance. You see the zone right here that we're chopping back and forth. So we have a lot of things happening at this point. So we're looking for that to be our target. Now, this is a supply, a demand area. So it looks like we're going to get a little bit of, probably a little bit of support here, at least temporarily. So check that out. We're starting to get a tiny bit of bounce today. It's this whole green zone, you know, as we have from this doji candle here. So, all right, that's a support zone. We'll see what kind of bounce we get going into FOMC. We were talking about this downtrend line, came back to test it and continuing our downtrend. We didn't get a lower low yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do that pretty soon. Going to the daily. Daily trend is our friend. You see a lot of action here. Now we're looking at that confluence. You remember all the supports we saw on the monthly and the weekly. We also have these trend lines here, these pivots that all coincide right at this area here. So if this area goes, we're talking probably some swift moves to the downside. Now there's two ways that we can look at this as a bearish count. This channel here, bottom, and this also this wedge bottom. It appears we're getting the bounce off there for now. I'm going to get rid of this green demand zone here, and we'll focus more on the weekly for that one. We do have a gap area I'll put in there as well. We don't always have gaps in the futures market, so those are very important. They don't stay open long. I said that before. We had a gap some time ago. I don't remember where it is right offhand, and we kept continuing to the downside where we finally got up to take it out. I think it was this one right here, back here in May. We continued to the downside, rejected off of it, and continued down more. So, you know, they can hold for a while, but it's pretty typical for them to be closed more sooner than later. All right, so we have this confluence here. That's why we went. We put on some trades in the options guys. We the Discord. We set up some trades there. Sorry, I was paying attention to something. Let me get back to the game. We are starting to have a little bit of bullish divergence here on the MACD and the RSI. So I do suspect we'll get a bounce here. So if we have a count going on, I'm not going to show the count that I have here just because it's not mine completely. And I just don't want to, ruin. It's the Trading Lounge. I give credit to theirs. He gives credit to somebody else, as a matter of fact. So we're looking at this possible being a recession as a 1-2 setup, and now we're in wave 3. We should get a bounce off of here before continuing down. That's the most important part. But if this is we do have a little bit more bullish count that's available as well, where this would be possibly a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's done. And maybe we have an ABC up and another 5-wave move down. That would give us a zigzag to complete our setup there for the bearish move, and then we continue on to the upside, and that's completely all right. If we're gonna get that 1-2 setup down to on the weekly, down to those zones that we were looking at. Maybe I could put that board on for you. Down in this area, maybe this is the zigzag we need, and then come down here and possibly down to that 618. That's a possibility, but we'll play it day by day. We're not going to look that far forward. I do believe we're getting down to that area no matter what. All right, let's go down to the 65-minute chart. See if we can determine what's going to happen in the near term. You see this? That's the wedge bottom we went long on. We are holding long overnight. We did get another dip after we had our trade. That's a momentum play. We wicked through here, was stick saved, and we're back above it. Now, if you grind a little bit lower here, you see the wedge. We're starting to break out from that sideways. All we're doing is chopping back forth on the options expected move for the week, and that's not uncommon. It's a safe zone for the market. Not too much hedging after that. But the probability says that we'll be back inside of that zone. We have the options expected to move to the upside here, all the way to the downside here, and then the opening trade was around this gap. We had to close there and open here. So let's see where we end up tomorrow. We're getting out of that wedge, so maybe we'll have a nice turnaround Tuesday. It will at least play pretty strong trades, pretty large trades up until we get to this gap zone, and then we'll make this low our stop at that, because that's the wedge bottom anyway. We start getting below there and closing below there hourly, then we have a issue with the longs. Okay, all right, that's it, you guys. We will check in tomorrow with a little bit shorter video for Patreons at least. Other than that, we'll keep in touch with everybody else, with our YouTubers. And thanks for joining us here. Don't forget to like the video, and we'll talk to you soon.